Um, Congrats on getting a point back there at the end. If you want to just start us off with your thoughts on the match.
I think first 30 minutes, it took us a bit to get into the game, but we just talked about it after the game. We were like, the way we ended is, what we got to bring to these next 5 matches, and pull out a full 90 performance just like that.
Yeah, similar. I think credit to us though to be able to sort of ride that storm in the first half. We're under a lot of pressure. I think we kept it cool for the most part. Obviously we want to be playing better, but I mean it's always going to have moments of like that in the game, and yeah, we rode it out and thankfully got a point. So.
And then can you talk about the second half adjustments you made and kind of because it looked a bit different when you came out for the second half versus start of the match.
Yeah, I think we wanted to be a little bit more safer in the back instead of going out and trying to stretch that press, which allowed them to kind of like gain more ground. But I thought we dealt with it well, and we ended up figuring out the press probably after the first 10, 15 minutes in that second half. And yeah, it was good.
Reyna, obviously your walk-up look today was quite a hit. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about that, and then about scoring a goal on Hispanic Heritage Night.
Sorry. Wait, my
walk-up look. We'll start with the walk.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. No, I was like, first game home, and it's Hispanic can't speak English, sorry, Heritage Month. And yeah, I just thought like, it'd be nice to represent them in a beautiful way. It's a beautiful dress, and had roses too, so represented the Thorns as well. So yeah, it was just a good mesh. And then the goal, that's just my job, follow it up. Liv had a great hit, and it just popped out right there, and just had to tap it in. Yeah.
And then Matt, kind of a heavier question, but you posted about Matt earlier today, and obviously y'all did a moment of silence for him before the match kicked off. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about him and what that meant to you.
Yeah, BD played a massive role in my career coming through. I think it was, back in 2020 it was COVID, and I didn't really have many teams to go on offer for, and he pulled me in and he gave me a chance and he brought me over to England, and it ended up being my home for the next 4 years at West Ham, and I learned so much as a player there, as a person as well, and yeah, I owe so much to him. And what he did for women's football in general. Yeah, I don't think will be forgotten. A very special person for sure.
And then, yeah, the game became really chippy at points in this match. Can you just kind of talk to us about the adjustment, and especially for you, Mackenzie Arnold, you took a lot of hits today as well. You just kind of talk to us about just kind of how the game changes, and and then Reyna, you too, how the game changes with the officiating the way it goes sometimes.
I mean, I think that's just part of football, to be honest. I think especially being here at Providence Park, you got all the fans behind you and the energy just rises. It's hard not to start to feel the passion and really get stuck in with that. I think also considering what this game meant, I think it was like third and fourth on the ladder, and yeah, it was always going to be a big game and there was a lot on the line. So I think it was very expecting for that to happen. But again, I think you should probably always expect that from us, especially playing at Providence Park.
I agree. Yeah.
And then Olivia Moultrie's quickly become one of the premier free kick takers in the league now. What was kind of the message, especially, Reyna, when you see her taking that and, just making sure you follow up in the play?
Yes. I think, no, I knew she was going to go for it, but most of the time she always gets it on target. Like you said, she's a great free kick taker. So I always will take my chance. Like if it's going to rebound, I'm going to try to be there. And it just worked out. So yeah.
Going back to the first 30 minutes, that was probably the longest stretch that we've seen with your team on the back heels like that and the other team attacking. Why do you think the game started out that way? Was that something they were doing, or something that was lacking on your behalf? And also, where did you find the urgency then to turn it around and get the point back at the end?
Yeah, I think we just like we said, going into second half, we had to just like fix our press a bit. I think we could have like started out with a little bit more energy and going. But honestly, like I got to give it to San Diego. They're like one of the top teams that can play out of their own half, and so they're a really good team, and they want to possess. So we knew they were going to try, and yeah, I thought going into second half we did fix that. So.
Any other questions? All right, we'll go ahead and conclude it there.
Thanks.
Thank you both.